Happy St. Patrick's Day. The road starts here in Dayton, Ohio for another year as we prepare for the first four. And the fun gets underway tomorrow night at 6:40 as Alabama State will be taking on St. Francis, and we are thrilled to talk with the Red Flash first. Before we talk to our student athletes, as a courtesy to our fellow media members and team participants, so we ask that you please silence your phone. Also, in asking a question to our student athletes and then what soon will be coach, please provide your name and media affiliation each time that you ask a question. If you're joining on Zoom, use the hand feature, and when I see that there aren't questions in the room, we'll make sure to involve those individuals online. And also, recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Stepping up to the stage first is Riley Parker, a leading scorer for the Red Flash, all NEC, all tournament team, a junior. In the middle is Juan Cranford Jr., the most outstanding player in the Northeastern Conference tournament and Rookie of the Year in the NEC, and a homecoming as Dayton native. And third team all-conference in the Northeast is Valentino Pinedo on the far end. Before we open up for questions, Riley, just your excitement on reaching the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, super excited. I mean, this is our first time as a program in 34 years. Just super grateful and ready to get the show on the road tomorrow.
Juan, your excitement of being home.
Man, always good to be home, man. I'm very excited for me and my team. I mean, we're excited to be here.
And Valentino, your excitement of the big dance.
We worked so hard for this, and it's just a blessing to be able to be here.
All right, let's open up the floor for questions. Second row on the end.
Thank you. Marcus Hartman, Dayton Daily News. Juan, you addressed it already, but kind of how is this? What has been the key to you being successful here as a freshman? Right out of high school.
Just taking one day at a time. One step at a time. Having trust in my teammates and my coaches to get me in this position right here, and just staying with the process and trusting in my brothers.
Let's go third row on the far end.
Paul Chu, media of the University of Dayton. So currently you guys played your first seasonal game at the University of Dayton. So at the same type of arena and environment, how is that going to be different from playing a different type of opponent but the same arena?
Riley, you want to start?
Yeah, no, we're obviously very excited we've already played here before, so we already know what the gym feels like and the environment in the gym. The first game we played here didn't turn out our way, so we're just trying to come back here and make it right.
Juan, you want to answer that question about playing here already this year?
Yeah, I'm going to just pick up what Riley said. We're grateful to be back here. We play here already, so, it's nothing new to us. So, the gym's not new, the floor, none of that is not new to us. So, we've been here before, and we just got to take care of business.
Valentino.
Following up on what they said, we've been here before, so just take our time this time and get the job done.
Let's go to the first row.
Juan, Tom Archdeacon from Dayton. Did you play in this arena as a high school player at all? And how did you do, or what do you remember about this place? And did you come here for games? I don't know, when UD played or anything.
I didn't come to any college games, no. But I did play here my junior year in the district championships, and we lost to Fairfield. But it was a good time, man. It's always a good time to be here. It's a great feeling, great gym, great environment. So it was great.
A reminder for those that are joining us on Zoom, you can use the hand feature and ask a question to our student athletes. Let's stay here and go to the first row on the end.
Juan, kind of what led you to end up at St. Francis, and how was it to have a couple other guys from Southwest Ohio that are there on the team too?
It started off with the coaching staff, just them believing in me, trusting in me, and trusting in my abilities to do what I can do. And I just want to shout out to them and the St. Francis community for letting me be part of their family. And it's always a great blessing to have a couple guys with me on my team that's from where I am. And, it's fun, and we all bond together. We're a brotherhood.
All right, let's go online. Andrew Clay, your question for our student athletes.
Guys, Andrew Clay, WTAJ in Altoona. A month ago, it didn't feel like you guys had much of a postseason chances, but you got really, really hot at the right time. What has been the difference by how you guys played here in this last month as compared to the first half of the season?
Juan, you want to start in the change?
Oh, yeah. The biggest thing for us is just we changed our motto just to play hard for 40 minutes straight, putting 20 minutes together instead of just one half, and just putting both halves together and then staying together as a team, just playing with confidence, trusting in our coaching staff. So we took a bigger role in that and just play hard and to do what we could do best.
Riley, your answer in pertaining to the change and the winning streak that you're currently on.
To be honest, man, there wasn't too much change. We believed in ourselves the whole time. It was just little things down the stretch of the games, as in execution, getting stopped when we needed to get some stops, and just winning some close games rather than losing them. And we figured out how to win those close games, and that really took our team to the next step to win these games lately.
Valentino.
Following on what Riley said, pretty much is like every 4 minutes, every media, just do the little things to be able to, in the last four, be in a position to just win the game, finish the game.
Let's go to the third row. Actually, that'd be the fourth row on the end.
Patrick Sableski, University of Dayton. If you win tomorrow, this would be your first program win in the NCAA tournament. What would that mean to you guys to get that first win for the program?
Valentino?
Obviously, it means a lot because it means we still keep playing as a team and as brothers. And it means a lot just for us and for the program, too, just to be able to get the W tomorrow.
Juan?
Oh, yeah, what he said, it means everything to us to be here, man. Like, this is a great opportunity to be here to show what we can do and showcase our talents. And we're just going to take advantage of that.
Riley?
Yeah, man. We just want to keep making history and put the middle of nowhere on the map, really. Just keep putting Loretto on the map and the St. Francis name, because we've got a really good thing out there in Loretto. So just keep winning to put St. Francis on the map.
First trip in the tournament since 1991 for the Red Flash. Riley, in talking about this amazing tournament, do you have a memory as a fan of growing up and watching March Madness? Yeah,
absolutely. I remember staying in a hotel watching Jalen Suggs hit the half-court buzzer beater for Gonzaga. And I just remember, I was like, holy, like, that's where you want to be. Like, that's the highest level of basketball you can play at the college level. And, watching that, I just dreamed of this moment to be in the position to play. And, we've worked so hard to be here and, we've earned it. And we're just really excited to get out there and play and, work our way to a win.
Juan, do you have a favorite March Madness moment?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite moment, but I have a couple games I watched over the years that I really enjoyed, and I wished I was there in that moment. Well, I'm here now, so I can't ask for nothing else, man. It's just great to be here, man.
How about for you, Valentino?
Well, me being from Spain and the time difference, I really didn't get to watch that many live games. But I've been watching a lot of highlights and everything. I haven't really watched a full game. Only when I got here, when I was a senior in high school. So I don't really have that many memories, honestly.
Let's go to the first row here, right in the middle.
Michael Presti, NCAA.com. One, you said a second ago that you watch games on TV. Sometimes you wish you were there. Do you ever remember watching first four games right here in your hometown that you wish you were there? And Did you ever see a first four game in person?
I feel like I seen one, but I was really young, so I don't really remember. But yeah, it was a great time, man. Like just to see everything, like the environment of March Madness, like it's great, man. Like I couldn't ask for anything else.
One more. As someone mentioned a second ago, you certainly have helped put St. Francis on the map. Before you guys went to St. Francis, could you have found St. Francis on a map? How much did you know about this school?
Juan?
I didn't know anything about St. Francis, honestly, but like I said, the coaching staff reached out to me, man. That meant a lot to me because like they gave me a chance and they believed in me. So, I mean, I just want to shout them out, man. Like it's true. It's a true blessing to be here, man. And like all the hard work, I mean, it shows and it paid off.
Riley, your map skills.
Nah, yeah, exactly what Juan said. Just the coaching staff reached out to me. They made me feel like they could give me a second family away from home, and you know they brought me in. And we have a really great community out in Loretto, and they really embrace us as a team, and they've supported us this whole way. And we have so many people that have come from Loretto. They've come to Dayton just to watch us play this game. So it means the world to us, and we just want to keep doing it, keep giving back to that community.
Valentino?
I'll say the same thing as Riley. I really didn't know much. Well, to not say anything at all. It was just whenever they reached out to me on the recruiting process, obviously. I'm just so grateful they gave me like a second family, maybe in from Spain, and just being able to showcase my abilities.
Second row, far end.
Yeah, this is both for Valentino and Riley. Just you guys are a little bit older than Juan. Just what you notice about a freshman coming in, how he's been able to make an impact, what he's done for you guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, I tell Juan this all the time. Like, he's an absolute professional hooper. From the way he carries himself to the way he just on a daily basis, you know, he's in the gym, he's working out with us, he's giving 100% effort. But it's just the little things like he's a great teammate. You know, he would do anything that we need the team to do to win. And just those little things coming in from a freshman, like he's not selfish. He's willing to do what we have to do to win. And that's just the biggest credit I can give him. He's just very professional and mature for his age.
Valentino, thoughts on Juan?
I'll just say on the court, he doesn't look like a freshman. He looks like a veteran sometimes, and that's a big compliment to him because obviously he's a freshman. But off the court, obviously we do treat him as a freshman, so we do make some pranks every now and then.
Let's go to the third row on the end.
So, gentlemen, initial thoughts. So you guys are going to be playing the first game of March Madness. Congrats on that. So, again, what are you guys feeling emotion-wise? How are you guys going to feel when the whole world's watching you guys play for the first time in March Madness?
Valentino?
It means a lot, man. Opening this whole thing up, the whole March Madness thing, it means the whole world to me, and obviously to the team too.
Juan?
I mean, I'm pumped up, man. Like, I'm ready to go right now, honestly. But yeah, it's a blessing, man. I can't wait to go out there and play, man.
Riley?
Yeah, man. Like, we've been watching this since we were kids, and just to be back out here, back on Dayton's court, like it was probably one of the best environments we've ever played in. So just to be back here, in on a higher level again, it's a great opportunity, and I'm so excited to play in front of everyone.
Just a reminder to our members of the media, for every question, please state your name and your affiliation. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Other questions for our student athletes? Riley, for you in your game and what was such an impressive season and first team all NEC, what's been the biggest improvement from playing at St. Francis this year and what you've been able to accomplish?
Just honestly having confidence in myself and just, learning game by game, day by day, just trying to be the best version of myself. The coaching staff here has really believed in me and given me the opportunity to maximize, this type of season. And I'm very grateful for that, and just staying consistent to my day-to-day craft and getting better every day is really the biggest difference from this year to last year.
Juan, for you as a freshman, I mean, rookie of the year and then being named the MVP of the tournament, was there a moment, in this season where you really felt comfortable in the college game?
Yeah, it was. I'd say towards the middle of the season where I went on the scoring double figures. That's when I really start to feel my moto and just get comfortable with the college game. And beginning of the season, I wasn't really playing how I want to play. Confidence really wasn't there. I was still learning. I mean, I'm still learning now, but just learning from these guys and my older guys, just throughout the time. I mean, I just got better throughout the games.
And Valentino, for you, third team All NEC. What have you enjoyed most about this year in this ball club and the run that you guys are on?
Well, obviously the fact that they accepted me as one of their own. Me and Riley being from different places, it's just like we truly treat this as like a family. So it's really fun, just like being able to treat this as like a second family, pretty much.
Let's go to the first row in the middle.
NCAA.com. This is for each of you. Down the stretch here, you guys have survived close game after close game after close game after close. What has that been like, and how valuable is that now, having survived and gone through all that, and the confidence you got from surviving a lot of close games?
Valentino?
Well, I remember Riley in one interview said, like, at first we got to those close games and we lost them, and then it was like, then it got to a point where we figured out how to like win and put ourselves in a situation to win those games, and we learned from all those games. And I feel like having more experience and like in super close games, I just said, like winning in overtime, then winning by 3 and like with 1 minute or something like that, like it gives us like a lot of confidence coming into like the last minute that we can actually win the game.
Juan?
Oh yeah, basically what Bao said, but just beginning of the season we were losing those games, those close games, and we just had to figure it out. We came together as a team, talked. We had a couple of meetings, just talk it out, do what we do, and towards the end of the season we started to figure it out, like just little things, like the playing hard, the extra loose balls, 50-50s, the rebounds, like they all matter, and we realized that. And once you realize that, I mean, everything just started to fall in place.
Riley?
Yeah, man, it's always fun to win close games. It's always fun to watch those games and to be a part of them. So just being able to win those games and be in those situations, we've really learnt a lot, and we've had fun doing it. So that's really probably the biggest thing, like making sure we have fun down the stretch, but win, like do what we got to do to win.
Got just a couple minutes left here with our student athletes. Another question out on the floor? Yeah, let's go to the second row on the end.
Hi, Caleb Zaffey with University of Dayton. How would you describe your guys' identity and culture, throughout the season, from the regular season till now? How do you guys feel about that?
Riley?
It's a real team-based team. Like, we probably go to one of the smallest Division I schools in America. We don't have, all the glitz and glamour of all the high Division I schools out here, but, we embrace that. Like yesterday, we had our power go out during practice, and we practiced for a whole hour with the lights off, and everyone embraced it. It was high energy, and we had fun playing together and just being a part of a team that just embraces our journey. Our journey is different to everyone else's, and we fought through a lot of adversity, and the team just gets closer and closer through those times. And I think that's really the big difference between this team, because we stay together through those times and we don't separate. Like people really leave from the middle, they separate from each other, but we just like to pull back to the middle and just be close with each other the whole time.
Gentlemen, we've really enjoyed talking with you. We are so excited to watch you tomorrow night, and it is great to have you back in Dayton. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you again, Coach. This time, I'm really excited to welcome in the head coach of St. Francis And Rob Krimmel in his 13th season, leading his group and coaching at his alma mater. And tomorrow night it'll be his 399th game with the Red Flashes. Coach, before we open up questions for the media, just an opening statement on this amazing run and winning the championship in the Northeast Conference.
I heard guys talk a little bit about the journey, and it's the best a team has embraced the journey of a college basketball season since I became a head coach. We played the toughest schedule we've ever played in my time, and starting here was no easy start, and then off to Clemson and Georgetown and Penn State and Maryland, and Robert Morris and Mount St. Mary's, both of whom were in the NCAA tournament. So it was a very tough start to the year, but at our level, we need to be playing our best basketball in January, February, and March. And once we got to January, we started to get a little bit better, started to develop a little bit of an identity. February, things took a turn, and they were moving in the right direction. And then we're playing our best basketball in March, and that's ultimately what we're judged on at this level. Is we've got to be good for 3 games in the Northeast Conference tournament to put ourselves in a position to play meaningful basketball. So it's a fun group to coach. I heard Riley talk about it's a close group. Early in the year, I don't know that we were very composed. We had to go through some very difficult moments, and we got knocked down, but these guys kept getting back up. You get knocked down and you keep getting back up. Some embarrassment in there, some tough losses, some close losses. But once we figured out how to win those close games, the composure turned to confidence, and that confidence turned into a belief in our locker room. These guys believe in each other. They believe in themselves first. They believe in each other. And as a coach, when you walk into a locker room with a group of guys that believe, it's a big word in our program, brought to us by Jordan McClure through the Team Impact program. It makes my job easy. Belief is such a powerful emotion, and our guys have really embraced that throughout the year. And again, there's a lot of coach speak and a lot of cliche, but really the players are driving the bus here. Riley Parker, first team all-conference, and Juan Cranford, rookie of the year, and then obviously Val is a third team. We've got guys that can make the plays, but they're leading the way, and it's been a fun group to coach. I just want to continue to play. I want to keep playing 40 more minutes with them. That's all we're promised, but I'm excited to get out there and compete with them.
Let's go to the first row.
Michael Presti, NCAA.com. Every coach in the tournament, it means a great deal to them. But when it is your alma mater and you have spent your life there and you're doing something that hasn't been done in decades, is that a different level of special for you think? And one other quick question also, how did shooting go when the lights were out?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. I was going to see if we could play with the lights out here tomorrow. And it went out, and our guys didn't skip a beat. They did not skip a beat. They just looked up like, and we continued with the drill and got everything we needed to accomplish. I don't know if it's, more special for me than it is anybody else that's a college basketball fan. We grow up, dreaming of this moment. It escaped me as a player. It escaped me as an assistant coach. And 3 times as a head coach, it had escaped us. And I sat next to Father Malachi, our president, yesterday during the selection show. And he said, has it sunk in yet? I said, it's been a blur. The last couple of days have been a blur. There's so much tradition and passion at St. Francis. It goes back all the way to the 50s with Maurice Stokes, and then to the golden era with Kevin Porter, Norm Van Leer, and then the 91 team that was led by Coach Jim Barron, Joe Anderson, and Mike Isolino, and that crew. I mean, Mike Isolino's from Altoona, which is 20 minutes down the road from us. So not only are our alumni excited, you've got the community that's excited. And I said to Father, I said, you know what? I think it'll finally hit me when we look up on that screen and we see our name actually in the tournament. I compared it to him getting a big donation from a booster and that check clearing. You hear about it, but wait until that check clears and it gets into the bank, because then the money's there. Wait until your name appears on the screen, because you're officially in the tournament.
Let's go to the back.
Patrick Sabusky, University of Dayton. You won all of your conference tournament games by only 3 points. What does it say about your team that they're able to win these close games coming into March?
As you go throughout the season, the later you get, the closer the games are going to be. Our margin for error all year was slim. Our strength was in our numbers, and like I said, early in the year, we weren't winning those close games. But once we got into January and February and started to figure out how to do that, that confidence started to emerge. And I can remember a couple times going into huddles. Our second overtime game was against FDU. And I came in and our guy said, listen, we were just here 2 days ago. Let's go win this thing. A week later, we're playing Chicago State, goes to overtime. We got this. So again, my job is easy when the players are telling each other, hey, we got this. Let's just execute, do the things that we need to do to put ourselves in a position to win. And then, the tournament was no different. And the neat thing is we had 3 different players make 3 different plays down the stretch for us. Riley in the quarterfinals, Juan in the semifinals, and then Damar Kelly in the championship. So these guys have really, that team concept, I think, has helped us in those moments where one guy doesn't feel like they have to win the game for you. We've got a group of guys that know that the strength is in the numbers, and whoever's night it is on that particular night, there's a lot of joy for the person that makes the big play or that gets the big stop or gets the big rebound.
Let's go to the second row, far side.
Will Martin, University of Dayton. How do you prepare for a game when you just found out who your opponent is yesterday?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, but we played our championship game on Tuesday, and once we got back to campus, we started to try to predict a little bit. And each day that passed, we were able to kind of knock some teams off that list. And as a head coach, I'm very fortunate to have a staff around me that does so much work to put our guys in a position to be successful. Oliver Allen, Devin Sweetney, and our associate head coach, Luke McConnell, and then our GA, John Q. McCune, you want to talk about stress? It's easy for trying to figure out who you're playing. He's been trying to map out where we're going, what hotel we might be staying in, what kind of food we're getting, are we going on a bus or a plane, trying to figure out how ball screens are going to be covered or what kind of defense they're going to play is pretty easy in comparison to what he's had to go through. So, the idea of preparing on short notice, our guys each day were able to hone in a little bit more on fewer and fewer opponents to the point where we got to practice yesterday. We knew it was probably going to be 1 or 2 teams. And then we could really lock in and watch that film and try to get as good of a feel as we can. But for us, we're going to have to rely on what we did all year. It's follow the scouting report, do what we do, and rebound the basketball. And let's get the 104-minute timeout. We like our chances.
Let's go to the second row.
Paul Chu, media of the University of Dayton. So to recall what you said earlier, you had a gauntlet of a season. You played legacy teams, Maryland, University of Dayton, Penn State, Clemson. So if you compare that to currently right now in the March Madness first 4, how can you compare both those games into your current game against Alabama State?
They're all big games, and that's what we've talked to our guys really since February 5th. February 5th for us was Kevin Porter night. We honored one of the greatest players ever to put on a St. Francis uniform. And we talked about big games. Obviously, early in the year when you're playing those big-name opponents that you talked about, when the stands are packed and you're playing All-Americans and people that they've watched on TV, in the NCAA tournament, that big game mindset is something that you can't wait until you get to that big game to figure out, okay, we got to play in a big game. So those ones early in the year prepared us for that February 5th game where it was Kevin Porter night. And then every game since then, we've talked to them about why it's a big game so that when we got to the conference tournament, we didn't have to talk about big games. We've experienced them in the non-conference, playing some of the big boys. And then once we got into our league, finding a way to embrace that big game mentality all the way to the conference championship. And no bigger game than that. And as I told him, listen, that was a big game. This is the biggest game in St. Francis history. Well, in the last 34 years. So you think that one was big? This one's even bigger. So the mindset is something that is created early in the year, but you got to build on that as you go into your conference and then into the conference tournament. I think our guys understand that tomorrow's a big game.
Let's go to the second row on the end.
Coach Marcus Hartman, Dayton Daily News. I had 2 questions for you. What has Juan been able to do to impact your team so much as a freshman, and how did you end up with 3 guys from Southwest Ohio out there? And what those guys were saying was the middle of nowhere, but they want to put it on the map.
Juan, his transition to college, and the great thing about college coaching, everybody transitions differently. Everybody sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes a year, sometimes it takes 2 years, 3 years. But Juan's transition was smooth. I don't want to say it was as easy as anybody that I've coached, but he had to compete in high school. The great thing about Juan was he wasn't handed the keys to the car as a freshman. he had to scratch and claw his way to a very competitive, very successful high school program, then to his sophomore year, to his junior year, to his senior year. So coming in, he understood what it meant to compete, but to be able to compete in a team concept. Because there's some people that compete in a selfish kind of way, like I want my minutes, I want my shots, I want my time. And that competitiveness combined with, he's got a pretty level head for a freshman. He doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low. And that's a very mature trait to have. You don't see that in too many freshmen. So if he had a poor game, the last time we played Central Connecticut, he had 2 shots in 25 minutes. And before the game, I went up to him and I said, Juan, we play you 25 minutes tonight. You can't have 2 shots. Oh, yeah. I said, I showed him my notes. I said, Juan did not play well in the last game. And maybe to another person that would irk him a little bit, but he just looked at me. He's like, I got you, coach. And that's the type of player he is. He's self-aware. He understands it. And to be able to get kids out of this part of the country is something we've tried to do. Ohio's got such a rich tradition with basketball. We've had a lot of success with the Moeller program. One of our former assistant coaches, Eric Taylor, he's from the Cincinnati area. And Eric had a great career. He was my teammate at St. Francis. Introduced me to my wife. Taught me what it meant to work hard. And he's a Cincinnati guy and played professionally for over a decade. So, that presence. So people don't know. Maybe some people don't know about St. Francis, okay? But when you go into certain areas where we've recruited, or there have been players that have come from pockets of, whether it's Ohio or Pennsylvania, the SFU means something. It's not San Francisco, or it's not St. Francis in Indiana, or South Florida, or they're trying to guess what the SFU stands for. They know not just what the basketball is about, they know what the university's about and what the community's about. So it makes our recruiting a lot easier. And we're very fortunate that Juan said yes to us.
All right, let's go back to the second row here, right out front.
Michael Presti, NCAA.com. The NCAA tournament, one thing about it, it has a lot of teams of very different worlds, very different circumstances. You're sharing the stage now this week with schools that, glitz and glamour and million-dollar NIL. Can you talk about how different your journey is than a lot of these places, and just how different your world is to get to this point?
Yeah, I think every institution has its challenges, right? Maybe we're not dabbling in the world of NIL and that kind of crazy money, but at that level, you're competing with wanting more money, right? So everybody has their challenges. And even before all of this, the portal and NIL, there were the haves and the have-nots. It's really no different. It's just I think it's a different discussion point right now, right? We've always traveled by bus and, had to find a way to pinch pennies a little bit while other teams were. My middle brother played at Penn State. He chartered everywhere. The first time he had to fly commercially, he's like, wait, I got to check a bag and wait in line? Hey, hold on a second, time out, right? Well, that was my life. It was, we're going to fly commercially, and by the way, you can't bring more than one bag, and you got to pack a certain way. So some of that stuff's been around forever. But I think the journey and what makes our place so unique, it's still about fit. We got to recruit kids that want what we can offer. And when you find people that are 2 feet in, regardless of your circumstance, success becomes a byproduct of that. Success becomes something that it becomes ingrained in not just the players that are there, but the players that came before them. And so much of that is rooted in relationships. So much of that is rooted in development. But those are long-term. Think about the relationships that you have, or development. That's a long-term concept. And at the heart of what I believe the college experience is about, it's about development. It's about developing relationship. It's about developing players. It's about developing students, but most importantly, developing people. And if we find kids that fit that, they'll be successful. It's just we've got to make sure that we find the right. We got to turn over enough stones. And is it a little bit more challenging now than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago? Absolutely, but it's not impossible.
A couple more minutes here with Coach. Let's go to the fourth row in the back.
Coach Don Nelson from Ohio University. How much do you deviate your play from the conference tournament till now, to this point, if any?
We can't. We are who we are. Do what we do, follow the scouting report, and rebound the basketball. We give ourselves a great chance to win. And, I've used the Bobby Knight line a couple times. Winning favors the team that makes the fewest mistakes. And we've added one more layer to that plays the hardest. I mean, the margin for error, when you're playing in your peer group like we have, in the last week or two, that's who we are. And we can't change that. And our guys understand that. They know what's at stake here. They know what we need to do. And we're not going to reinvent the wheel just because it's an NCAA tournament game. We're going to go down competing the way we've competed for 33 games. And if we do that, I like our chances. And if we do that, I'll lay my head down at night knowing that we put everything into winning a basketball game.
Other questions for Coach? Let's go to the first row here on the end.
Marcus Hartman, Dayton Daily News. What do you feel like you got out of playing here to start the year?
The atmosphere. I mean, I told our guys when we came to Dayton, I think about 4 months ago now, that it would be one of the best atmospheres that they'd ever play in. The people that make up this community, and we've had the fortune to play here, the good fortune to play here twice. The passion here is unbelievable, and I don't expect anything different tomorrow night. There's no secret why they haven't moved the first four, the opening round out of Dayton, because the people here love college basketball. And so I think the atmosphere and the environment won't be new to them, and I think that'll be a big part of allowing them just to settle into it's a basketball game. It's a big basketball game, but we don't have to worry about our surroundings because we've been here before.
Let's go to the last row.
Patrick Zableski, University of Dayton. You've talked a little bit already about sort of the history and the tradition of St. Francis as a program. If you win tomorrow, it would be the program's first ever NCAA tournament win. What would that mean to you personally and to the program to get that win?
It'd be a special moment. For a lot of the reasons that I mentioned before, the passion that, and the great thing about what our guys experienced in the last 4 or 5 days since we won the championship, guys that wore the jersey before them that couldn't get to this point didn't say they won the championship. It was we won the championship. There was a sense of togetherness. So if we're fortunate enough to win the game tomorrow, I don't expect anything but the same response. We won our first game, and that's just a part of the tradition. The people that make up our community. There's a shared experience here. So yes, it would be big. Anytime you win your first NCAA tournament game, that's a big moment. But what makes it a little bit more special is how shared it is with our community, with our alums, and with our university.
Really fast, one more question for Coach. Let's go first row on the end here with Arch.
Yeah, Tom Archdeacon, Dayton. Excuse me, Rob, if you've already been asked this. Why is it that Cranford could come in as a freshman and hit the ground running kind of
it's really, I think, twofold. It was his upbringing, in high school, having to work his way into being a guy instead of just being handed the keys to the car as a freshman, and being able to shoot up all the balls and play all the minutes and score all the points. He had to compete on a very successful high school program, so that competitiveness coming to college in a team concept, because the competitiveness can be, I got to get mine, I got to get my points, versus I'm going to compete in a team setting. And those are two very different types of players. And because he had to compete in a team setting with a successful program in high school, coming to college, that transition for competitiveness and learning how to do it with 4 other guys or 5 other guys or 6 other guys, 7, whatever the rotation is, wasn't foreign to him. And the other thing is, he's just his demeanor. He doesn't get too high or too low. He understands his game. He doesn't try to play outside of who he is. And I think that pace that he plays with, he's a physically gifted kid. So that, coming to college, his strength and his ability to maybe play against some kids that are a little bit more physical. He didn't have to worry about getting bumped around. So it's part program, I think, and then just part some of his natural talents, that allowed him to make that transition so easily.
Coach, we were excited to see you in November. We're really excited to see you back here in March, getting March Madness underway with the first four. Best of luck to your group tomorrow night.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great. Great to be back.
Hammond Communications is going to be posting the recording of this press conference, NCAA Digital Media Hub. That's ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts will be provided ASAP shortly. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Good to see you.